Well, I think it's going to continue to go where it has been going, which is that one of the major things I've noticed over the last few years is that it's more mainstream now to talk about marketing. I think because it's easier to like start your own business, or people like talk about like their e-com sites or their side hustle, is that word that gets thrown around a lot. It's like it's easier to have conversations about marketing for the most part. So number one is just that. I would say beyond that, major trend for sure is outsourcing. So people outsource a lot more tasks, like the 4-hour work week, Tim Ferriss style of optimizing your business. That's definitely grown in popularity, and figuring out that if you do something over and over again, that there's probably a better way to do it, or you don't do it at all, somebody else does for cheaper. So those are like the two biggest things, and obviously we incorporate both of those things into our business. So like mainstream, I would say, is like education. So like when I go teach at General Assembly, I teach Facebook marketing there. I notice that people come in, and every time I go in, people already know more than they did the time before. Whereas I would say for the latter part, figuring out essentially how we can record videos, educational, teach our employees and onboard them quicker, so that when we go with them and work with them, they already know something that they would have known prior.
Yeah, and outsourcing is a different, probably you're using it differently than probably the connotation of outsourcing, which would be like we don't actually have like an overseas team that we support too.
Well, I think
like everything's done in-house.
But a lot of agencies do.
Yeah.
A lot of agencies do now outsource the work, and they don't necessarily tell people, but like they do, and like you see it more and more.
Yeah. And I think a really important one is just the average intelligence and skill and ability level of your client contact is way higher than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is natural, because 5 years ago, this was a much newer, and even 10 years ago, a much newer industry. And now there's people like us who were at big agencies, were at good agencies, and left to go either start their own consultancy, to start their own agency, or go and work in-house. And now, the dynamic is a little different, where 5 years ago, a digital marketing agency was brought on for a 2-year contract. Now it's much more along the lines of like, well, we don't need full service digital marketing to run everything. We have somebody that is very capable, and we need you to help guide like strategy, or we need you to help guide execution, or basically like to fill in some of those gaps, and also provide the knowledge that you can only get really from working across 20 or 30 different clients, which is what we do.
Right. So regarding, marketing technology, I guess, where's marketing technology going?
Yeah, I mean, that could be super nuanced, because there's all sorts of technology, but like you like to joke about, it's always the year of mobile.
It's been mobile. It's been the year of mobile every year since I've actually started marketing.
Yeah, I mean that's like probably always going to be true.
Yeah.
There's more happening there. Localization is always a hot buzzword. Like Solo-mo.
Yeah, right. It's on Silicon Valley all the time. It's jumped to shark to a certain degree.
I mean, there's cool stuff happening, or just weird stuff, like voice search. Like nobody thinks about that, but how does that affect the way that Google's matching stuff, or the way that we need to advertise stuff? Auto suggest, and like other semantic keyword things that just make people's daily lives easier. So I'd say like automation probably as a theme, or like AI to help just like assist people, so people spend less time distracted driving looking for stuff, and actually just like finding it. So we have to think about how we can kind of fit in there. What's one of the other ones that you really want to do, like the having the advertising on the Uber conference, like hold
oh yeah, well I think when everything comes more connected, that essentially means there's like probably a new way to jump into maybe even a channel that doesn't exist. So we kind of joke about, half serious, like what those could be.
Yeah.
When a technology starts, there's going to be gaps in its functionality, and those usually lead to opportunities. So like, for instance, if Facebook this week changed their trending algorithm, right? So we were talking about this because we were like, well, they made a major change to their platform.
Yeah, they fired their entire team.
Yeah, something's gonna go wrong. In fact, something did go wrong in the first 8 hours, and like how it picked up a story or whatever. But like, what's that impact? Like, that is a technology change. It's a marketing platform, so therefore, to me, it's a marketing technology change, right? So I think that thinking about how can you, to a certain degree, exploit changes in current channels is vastly overlooked. And the amount of times that we've kind of figured out, oh, this means that somebody's ignoring this pocket based on a change that's been made to existing technology, has led to discoveries, right? Discoveries that we build on over time and essentially make people money.